Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Zero Escape 999, where crazy stuff has happened.
I just don't know.
we were right about Zero's identity.
Yep. Kane is his sister, and she apparently was never here.
Well, at least it seems like she wasn't here. I'm curious to see how that's going to work.
I'm too.
But
oh
anyway.
my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
No, you can't be serious.
I really want them to explain her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he is. Shit, we got to do something. Maybe you can still get out through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, all right, we can do this. I've just got to... No, it's not going to work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. Is 8.
Don't we have another bracelet?
But it's the 0 bracelet, which is... Wait, no, was it the 9 bracelet? I've lost track of which one we had. Is there any combination that will work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
She's working on it. Sure, why not? I don't think I'm going to need them ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations, a lot of them. Oh, man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that. Jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that!
She can't get out. All right, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Oh, that one leaves Lotus.
She did all of these without her number in it, if you noticed.
No, Lotus was in the one above.
No, I said, what's Clover? Clover's 4.
Clover's
Sorry,
4,
I thought she
yeah.
was 3. Sorry.
What?
So we can only do this
There's no other way.
Lotus. Looks like she'd figured it out, though. Man, this is just
It's
too
okay.
cruel.
Go.
Lotus.
Come on, you know we can't do that.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she's expected that about as much as I did.
If you're not... Look, it'd be bad, all right?
For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence.
Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, all right? End of story.
7.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
You didn't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry.
That being said, however, I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
Huh? Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the Red.
Oh, yeah.
No!
But it didn't work because
What
of
is
the
this?
bracelet.
Why? The digital route should be 9. It has to be 9. Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Yes, that is what I said.
So they're gonna
So I
try.
have a random question, and maybe this was answered. Why can't Lotus just go through with them, even though she doesn't register her bracelet?
Because if you go through the door without having scanned your bracelet, then the bomb goes off.
Okay. That door's not 9.
You were right.
It ain't opening.
The door's not 9.
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
You think maybe they changed the settings?
Perhaps.
Shit, if we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get to that hole 7 popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. What if we scanned all our bracelets? I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums, I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind 9 years in the future. Oh, so this is June. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in two realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as two movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on, over here!
That was my brother Aoi. He was yelling. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age.
Hurry up!
We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. I like in the corner it says Akane Vision. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It's been 2 hours since the nonary game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake.
Hello? Everyone? Could you come over here for a moment?
He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down, and we gathered around him.
I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q, and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers.
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it is difficult.
You'd have to feel each one.
Yeah, I'm just... Look at the girl next to Snake.
It looks like Lotus.
Mm-hmm.
But my sister means a great deal to me. And I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Don't ever forget, so long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand?
When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before it was gone, we were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. They both eventually meet up in the incinerator? That doesn't make sense. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was
Only one.
It was the only one. But if there was only one door, then that meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors.
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already, alright, the incinerator started.
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat, emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
My brother Ali swallowed hard and answered.
It means this room is gonna burn.
Burn!
The plaque on the door says incinerator, and that voice said that the incineration is about to start. And incinerate means to burn.
No! Help me!
Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him Seven.
Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like Seven had said it did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by Seven.
So 5 got out and 4 of them stayed behind to die.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering too, because didn't at one point, like, I swear it was Ace and took Lotus through the door, and then we followed after? Mm-hmm. So after a certain amount of time, can't you use the door again, it seemed like? I don't know. That was something I was thinking about earlier. We crawled through the vent, away from the incinerator, and slid down into the hall. We came out the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Ali, Snake, and Seven. The other children, the ones who'd gone through the door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized.
Where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present?
I knew I had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out?
Oh my god, who cares?
I had to go back, I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me, I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think, I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all other areas of the ship.
Idiot.
I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down, down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically. It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs and freedom...
Oh.
The door to the incinerator opened, and a man stepped out. It was Hungo.
Run!
Gintaro Hungo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
How wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanically as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
With me. We must continue the experiment.
How do you continue the experiment with one person? I shook my head, eyes wide.
Run!
Slowly, I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps.
Run.
Then I spun around and broke into a run.
Too late.
I mean, it didn't matter. He's going to be way faster. I felt Hungo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could.
No! Stop! Let go of me! Let go!
I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hungo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hungo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
Kick him in the nuts.
He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Then suddenly,
Akane!
the door to the stairs flew open, and my brother, Aoi, burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake.
Akane!
He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hungo.
You came back!
I cried out, but then...
Ah! You're too late, idiot!
Hungo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator.
Ah!
The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hungo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hungo. I don't understand what the point of this was. Because you can't have one person open a door.
Well, and my thing is, her brother's here. She was supposed to be a receiver, so she's not getting anything from the other building, so what the hell?
Yeah, that part.
Well, he doesn't know who she is.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't know which one it was. But you still, like, what is one kid supposed to do when it requires 3 people to open a door?
Mm-hmm.
With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later...
He left the bracelets?
Oh, this is where we're gonna get the real number, I think. The 2 other doors slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice.
Help me!
My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here.
Scan your bracelet.
He went
out the other door.
What?
Then it started again.
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration will begin in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Holy shit, man, I knew what it was going to say, but that is one hell of a creepy voice.
I knew it.
Oh.
It's starting.
Santa started the incinerator.
Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years.
What the hell? What the hell? What in God's name are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. You aren't making any sense.
I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now. I promise. I'll tell you everything once we get out of here.
But...
Incineration will begin 17 minutes.
I don't think she was there.
Doesn't
she doesn't
you
have
know what
memories.
that means, right? Incinerate means burn. What kind of idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means. Well, god damn it. Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing.
How the hell?
There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button.
There isn't anything like that.
How the hell do you know?
Because I looked for it 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor, it's moving. Oh. Hello. What else can I say about it, but...
What the hell is that?
What is that?
What else could I say? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. Okay, all right, now that makes more sense. All right, I'm on the trolley. At least it kind of did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off, even as more took their place, and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I can see on the screen is a reflection of my own face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, all right? Everything's gonna be okay. Ugh, man, I wish that thing would just shut up.
Incineration will begin in
Junpei vision. I didn't catch that one before.
15 minutes.
All right, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. But what the hell am I supposed to do with it?
Hey, move!
Hey, we're all tense, lady. That doesn't mean you gotta shove people
It's
around.
turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. If there's nothing on here, how are we supposed to do anything with it?
She's smart with computers. That's what she's probably trying to figure out.
Either that, or I wonder if the idea was the answer is supposed to be transmitted. Sure, I'll just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Huh, well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen now?
What is this?
What's up?
I see password.
It looks like some sort of puzzle.
Just not sure what it's gonna have us do. It's got a bunch of numbers and letters scattered across a 5x5 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 8.
Do you think that if we solve this puzzle, the incinerator will stop? Yeah. Well, we can hope, right?
All right, puzzle, how do you work? Oh man, that goddamn voice again.
Incineration will begin in 13 minutes.
Congratulations.
Shit, 13 minutes. Can we really do this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Jumpy had been gone for a while. His mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information from him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured over them. Then I heard a voice.
Hey, what are you doing?
It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face, a frightening evil face. It was Hungo. How long had he been watching me?
Don't know what to do.
He was yelling, but his voice was still muffled.
Simple, really. But I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve the puzzle on that machine.
You are a crazy cracker.
His laughter was muffled by the door, but it still tore at my heart like the claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hungo, struggling to hold back hot tears.
You're a terrible person! I hate you!
Oh my. How could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person?
I hope Santa
That's
shoots you
not
in that
very
creepy
nice.
eyeball.
I'm
Yeah.
quite fair. I don't use tricks or play dirty.
Yes, you do.
You see? I've even left you a way out.
A way out?
Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that, and you can stop the incinerator.
She doesn't figure
What's
it
the
out.
point of stopping
Jumpy
it?
figures it
You'll
out.
only capture me and make me do this all again. I'm not going to listen to you. If you're just going to throw me back in here, I might as well just die now.
My goodness, haven't you listened to anything I've said? I told you, I'm a fair
No,
man.
you're not.
If you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will in turn activate. If this experiment is to deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. If you succeed, you will escape.
The verification function of the red?
Then I remembered. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Before Hungo left the room, he had scanned 2 bracelets into the red.
Ah, so you do remember. Right now there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1, and the second is 3. Say, Akane, what's your number?
I looked down at my left hand. The face of my bracelet showed a 5. I ran to the door with the 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel.
You really aren't one for listening, are you?
I hear Hungo's muffled voice from across the room.
I've already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of fool are you?
Why are you doing this?
You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys.
Eh.
Now start the experiment. Solve the puzzle.
I can't! I don't know how!
Of course you don't. Isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the morphogenetic field and find the solution.
I can't!
Then you'll die. You'll burn
She's
alive.
not a receiver.
It's gonna be quite hot in there in a few minutes. I imagine it will be very painful.
His horrible laugh echoed across the room, and even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it.
Incineration will begin in 10 minutes.
I was crying, great gulping sobs broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fear passing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the monitor.
I can't. I just can't. There's no way. I can't figure this out.
What was I going to do? I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could think of was how I was going to die. My palms were sweating and my blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot, so hot, I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself to pieces. I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll Jumpy had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed.
Help me! Jumpy! Help me! Help me! Help me! Jumpy! 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 Please! Help me! Jumpy!
So we have to solve it to save her.
Yeah.
Akane?
Oh.
Akane!
Who the hell is Akane?
Shut up! Just shut the hell up!
Seven and Lotus don't understand. I think Clover and Snake have an idea, though. Clover's looking at me, and I think Snake may have figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're in my way. Where'd she go? Maybe over here?
Akane! Akane! Can you hear me? Akane! Say something!
Fuck. Did something break our connection? I swear I just heard her.
Akane!
Shit.
Answer me! Akane!
Jumpy?
I spun around. I heard a voice. His voice. I looked around. He wasn't in the room, of course, but I heard it so clearly, like he was right there.
Jumpy!
I screamed as loud as I could.
Akane!
Jumpy!
Akane, Jumpy! Akane, Jumpy! That's the answer.
There we go. That's her. She's there. And that means...
Akane! Akane!
Are you in the incinerator right now?
Yes, I am! How did you know?
Couldn't believe that he knew that. Now I understand what Santa meant.
There's only one way to help her. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
I think I get it now.
Incineration will begin in 7 minutes.
We should probably start working on this puzzle.
We don't have time!
Start solving the puzzle!
As quickly as I could, I told him that I had to solve the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator.
Got it!
And I do. I got everything. I get everything now. At last, I finally understand what all of this means. I know why the nonary game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. Except for Lotus, I don't understand that one.
Yeah. And why bring Seven back to this? Is it all to make him understand what happened 9 years ago?
Yeah. It was all for this moment. Wrong button. All of this was planned out to lead to this one moment. Oh my god. This is insane. I can't believe it, but there's only one possible answer. June is... 0 is... Akane Kurashiki. She recreated the history of the future that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago. She tried to save herself that way 9 years ago. No, she's trying to save herself right now. That means there's only one thing for me to do. Even if this is all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kurashiki. I must save her no matter what.
Incineration will begin in
5 minutes.
6
Oh,
minutes.
sorry.
No, we
6
have
minutes.
full 6 minutes. The voice reminded me of how much time I had left.
Yeah, I know. Just hang on, all right? I promise I'll get you out of there.
And we'll just have to work on that in the next episode. This is interesting.
Uh-huh.
There were like little hints that seemed like it might take it in this direction. I didn't really, from the beginning, I wouldn't have guessed this.
No.
So.
I still would like it explained how June wasn't there and they got through all those doors.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably will explain it.
So.
I'm thinking it's like a time loop thing where like because we saved her in the past, she was able to be there in the future.
Seems like a time paradox problem.
A little bit. But we'll just have to see. Maybe they go in a different direction. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.